And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Norm's Friends. Of course, I have Liz Spirit Santana here. We have Mike Martineau. We have Samson. You can call him Sam today as our guest.
Call him
So,
welcome.
Welcome. Just before we get going, I do have to say this because you know me.
Oh my God. I know what you're going to say. Say
You
it.
don't know what I'm going to say, but I was just, before we went on, it's not for COVID.
Yeah.
It's not fully vaccinated anymore. They're doing, Fauci said it. He's changing the term. It's not going to be called fully vaccinated. Are you ready? It's keeping up to date. That's because they're going to want to jab you every week now.
Yeah. Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
but
Well,
so much for that. So I got that out of the way. One other thing I want to mention about tomorrow is January 6th. We all know what happened last January 6th, and I can just know all these brain dead people that are afraid to use...
Brain dead, though? Why do we call them brain dead?
Because they are. They watch right-wing media.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying. I can't.
See?
I'm sorry.
Poor me.
I'm sorry.
Right? And they watch this right-wing media. Not right-wing, excuse me. See that? They watch this commie media, the Main Street media, and what do? They believe every single thing they tell them without any explanation.
Blindly.
They do. They tell you the other side, like they'll say the Republicans are trying to do away with democracy. They don't tell you how.
Yeah.
They don't tell you the strategy, anything.
So
And
are
these-
they echoing what they hear from others and maybe...
No, but I'm talking about, like we'll say Chuck Schumer. If they don't end the filibuster, it's the end of democracy.
Yeah.
People believe it. He's not saying how it will end, why it will end, when it will end. What he's not telling you is if they do end the filibuster, then democracy is dead because it takes away all the people getting together and compromising. Mm-hmm. It's these evil commies described as Dems, and you can prove me wrong.
Call us with your thoughts.
That's right. 603-640-3019. You can even call for readings if you want.
Absolutely. You can remain anonymous, too. So share with us what you think about this.
So
the thing is that they're telling us this is what's going to happen, but there are parts that are not being explained.
There are no parts that are being explained. It's just a 5-word statement that they're saying and that people are believing.
Yeah,
it's just like
without
with
questioning it.
The Voting Rights Act. They're saying they're taking away voting rights.
Yeah.
Their Voting Rights Act is taking away the voting rights, right?
Yeah.
How does not being able to take dead people off a voting list disallow people from voting? How does taking undocumented non-citizens off voting lists discriminate against people voting? You have to be a citizen to vote. But that's what the Democrats are trying to push through. And also in the Voting Rights Act they're saying so we don't get these big corporate sponsors.
If they don't push.
Right, but what it is they won't need the big corporate sponsors to stay in power because they're going to make you and I pay for their campaigns. But, they don't tell you that, but you get these idiots, they're so far left, or because they see the D there for that strategy, they're hook, line, and sinker right for it.
Yeah. No, it's very, it's scary. I am not politically versed at all. What I'm seeing is that they're blindly following, right? And that's, from a spiritual perspective, why is that happening? Right? Is it in their soul contract? Are they playing the parts they're supposed to? Or are they in such need of healing that they need to be told what to follow, what to believe?
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Because it's that comfort.
People like that, if you notice, and think about it, when talk to people like that, what is it? They nourish their physical self, but they don't nourish their spiritual self.
Yes, and that's huge.
That's the gap. That's what's wrong. And, people, you can think what you want. If you don't believe you got a soul or a spirit, I'm telling you, you got a rude awakening. You should give it some thought and nourish your soul or your spirit, whatever you want to call it. You'll notice an unbelievable difference. You're right here now. Yeah. Open up the door to your soul and your spirit. Yeah. Give it some nourishment, and you'll be soaring higher to heaven.
And seeing things differently.
That's right.
Seeing things clearer.
Yes, indeed.
But what is the biggest setback? Why are people not getting to that point? What is the number one reason why? What is holding everybody back? Fear.
Well, exactly, especially now. Oh, talk about fear. Now there's already a new variant, a French variant. Just so you know.
me?
Yeah, so what do we got left now? What,
Sorry.
another 170 countries left, so.
We got to cycle through every language.
Right, well, it's that, they got to keep the fear to whittle away your rights,
right.
but
Well, that's how they
wake
control
up. God gave everyone free will. It's a shame they don't use it. But.
Yeah.
All right, so first, let's start. Mike Martineau, why don't you tell us who you are, give us a little background, and...
Yep, I'm born and raised in Manchester, and I'm a fun-loving local celebrity.
A what?
Fun-loving local celebrity. I go on the local radio station that's right below here.
Nice.
Is that
And
with Peter White?
yep, Peter White, the morning show, and then Matt Connor on Reese in the afternoon, and then the various other programs on that station, and just loving being involved in this great city that I was born and raised in.
All right, good for you. So,
Beautiful.
let me ask you a question. Why don't you tell us the story? How'd you meet Norm?
Yeah.
How I met Norm, he was a frequent diner. He was a frequent diner at the restaurant that I currently work at, Frank Coors Cafe on the west side, 488 South Main Street.
All right, good for you. All right.
Yeah, and Norm was going there for breakfast from time to time, and eventually he saw me on John Hopwood's show first, and then he started inviting me on here and then. So
Good.
yep. Norm, you're sorely missed.
Absolutely.
He is.
Yes.
All right, so I was telling him earlier, I want to say the first person that I've met since I've been here that was born and raised and is still here in Manchester.
Yep.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I've moved within the city a couple times, but have never established my residency.
You'll get it.
Residency elsewhere.
All right, good for you.
Well, that's where your heart is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. My heart's here in Manchester and Mother City, and don't plan on leaving anytime soon.
Beautiful.
Good for you. That's what the city needs, a few anchors here.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Well, so Liz, you brought Samson, or we can call him Sam.
Yes.
So,
So this is my guest, Sam. I'll let him introduce himself.
You really want me to talk now?
Yes! Oh my God, I'm so excited.
So
Yeah.
my name is Sam, as you know,
Yeah.
but nobody else knows. My name is Sam. I'm actually a student at New England Law in Boston. We were talking, just before this. I'm very interested in spirituality and how interconnected we all are. Liz and I were just talking about that on the way up here, and I was expecting a discussion about spirituality, and to hear you bring up all these current events that are going on, it's very refreshing to me, because I think that they very much go hand in hand with each other. What's happening on the spiritual realm is reflected down here in the physical world, and so forth. They're mirrored,
They are.
And so there's a lot of turmoil going on clearly here in this physical world. It's obviously happening in many different levels, and we need to talk about it, and I'm very glad that you brought it up, because I thought we were going to be steering away from these difficult conversations.
politics.
no, we
Norm would always
engage.
slip into politics. Every
Right,
time he
yeah,
asked,
right.
I'm like, Norm,
Yeah.
I'm not doing politics. He'd
Yeah.
still make me pull a card. So that was
It's not
needed.
even politics. These are human rights.
These are current
this
events.
is beyond like left and right,
Right.
Democrat, Republican type stuff. This is like, do you respect the human beings around you or not? Are you willing to use violence against them because you believe a certain thing? Right? And unfortunately, we have a lot of people who are willing to do that right now.
Yeah.
And it's scary,
The
it's
divide.
spooky, and
it
as
is.
you were saying, we need to get back in touch. I don't want to be judgy, but I do see an issue with people being in touch with their spiritual side.
Right.
And it's because we're losing that connection that we're very caught up in this material world, and we're willing to really do some bad things to perpetuate the illusion, so to speak.
It is. But, when you talk about that, you don't have to say, I don't want to be judgy, because you're not. You're just making an observation and stating an observation. It's not being judged. Nothing judgmental about that at all.
It sounds judgmental when it comes out of your mouth.
There we go.
Good afternoon, Norm. Welcome to Norm's Friends. What can we do for you?
Hi, I'm calling in about the reading.
Okay.
Hi.
And
Hi.
hello. You want a tarot reading and any question, or do you want general, or what can we do for you?
Whatever she can tell me.
Oh, okay, I got the hints. I got the hints.
All right. Do you want to remain anonymous, or do you want to state your name? Totally up to you, whatever you're comfortable with.
I'll remain anonymous.
Okay. Do you have a specific question, or do you want me to do a general reading?
I'll do general.
Woohoo! All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 3 cards. I'm connected to your energy, and we will see what lies ahead in your immediate future based on your choices right now, and your thoughts and your actions right now. What lies ahead? What is the information that you need to know right now from your higher self, from your higher source? Look at that. All right, so I pulled 3 cards for you. I'm not sure if you're watching, but you can always replay it later. The first card is fulfillment of wishes. Okay, so you've been asking for quite a while. You've been asking for things to come your way. You've been kind of in a stagnant energy for some time, and you've been asking the universe, this is what I want. I am a good person. Why am I not receiving these things? I am ready to receive these things. I see the shift in you, in that shift of perspective of, you know what, I give, and this, oh my God, and it goes right to that. It goes right into that second card, which is sacrifice. That is you giving so much of you and your energy to everybody around you, making sure that everyone around you is taken care of. And it's like, but what about me? There's that fulfillment of wishes, right? So all of your, it's so cliche to say all of your wishes are going to be granted, but it's you have asked the universe for certain things, and it's time to deliver on those, right? So you're getting all of that. Now the third card is the emotional withdrawal. It's you putting everybody else's needs before your own. It's not following what your heart wants, right? And now that you've kind of taken a step back and seen that is what I do constantly. I am making sure everybody is feeling okay, everybody's needs are met, nobody's unhappy, avoiding conflict and drama, and swallowing all of that to keep the peace around you, which is so not healthy, by the way. Now that you've seen that, you're able to recognize this is where I need to change my perspective. This is where I need to put myself first and do the self-care. And then that is where the fulfillment of wishes comes in, right? Because you align yourself with what you are supposed to be doing, which is following your heart. So that comes in for you. So this is you time right now. This is unapologetically you time. So now let's look at the bottom of the deck. It's going to give us the overall information of the situation, and that is hope. And it's a beautiful card with hands, and in the hands it's cupped like this beautiful ray of sunlight, right? And this is you not ever giving up on hope. And it's coming. This comes in with that fulfillment of wishes. All of your sacrifice that you have put into, you've done your time, basically. This is you, and see that rainbow right behind you that is showering on you, all those blessings. This is a beautiful year for you. Any questions on that?
I don't have any questions. You are spot on.
Love it. Yeah, if you have anything you want me to clarify on, then definitely let me know. We can look into that a little bit further. I'm gonna have David pull some cards as well and see what his perspective and his cards have to say along those lines.
All right, I'll pull cards, but before I pull the cards, I'm just going to read on the energy I'm feeling, all right? Which has to do with your cards, all right? What I'm getting is we'll go back to, the emotional withdrawal.
Yeah.
Fulfillment of wishes was first.
Yeah.
What I'm going to say is what I'm feeling is again, like she said, you have all these hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
And what I'm feeling is that, you got these hopes and dreams, but you want every single hope and dream to be just the way the hope and dream is to you, without any room to maneuver one way or the other, or, make room for, maybe just sacrificing just a tiny little bit instead of,
Yielding a little.
Well, yeah, you know, we'll say like in a relationship, you want these 10 things must be met. Well, you know, instead of, you know, waiting around, waiting for all 10 to be met, you know, start with 9. I hate to say settle, but, you know.
No, not so much settle,
right,
but like.
check out, you
little
know,
steps.
open your, you know, be accepting to 9 requirements. And then,
It's a Virgo thing. It's pretty hard to do that.
well,
She's a Virgo. Oh my God.
yeah, all right, it's a
Analytical.
Virgo thing, but
Overthinker.
everything is a choice, and the choice is easy. Believe me, it's a lot easier than you think.
See,
So-
Virgos need that structure. They need to like
well, you can
bam,
still
bam,
have
bam.
the structure, but you know, you don't have to be so rigid with the
Rigid, yes,
structure. You know,
yeah.
there's avenues all the time. So here, all right, here am I am. Here we basically the same thing.
Of
We
course,
have the 3 of
our cards
rods.
talk.
All right, we have the 3 of rods. So, you know, here again, you got some direction here. You can see the guy, he's looking out. He's got 3 rods with him, right? All right, so each one I'm going to say is an issue that you want to resolve, that you're working on, that you have in view, all right? Each one of them has, and again, look at the options. Just because we'll say, I'm just going to say, you want a new car, all right? You want a new car, but some people, you know, if I don't get a Rolls, I don't want a car.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just, that I'm just getting the feeling that that's how rigid you are.
Has to be
So
precise.
yeah, instead of sticking with that, because you're really gonna miss out. And the other thing I'm gonna say too is, you know, with being so rigid, you're missing a lot of messages from, I'll use the easy term, your gut feeling, by being so rigid. And here, all right, here we are. The 10 of Swords. It doesn't look good, but by being so rigid and only wanting to accept exactly everything that you want, that you're hoping for, that you got your sights set on, this is what it's doing to you. It's really weighing heavy on you. Yeah. But so if you can sort of just get rid of some of the rigidity, as you can see, you know, it's the darkest hour is right before dawn. So your dawn is coming up. And
Look at that.
there you go. So, and then we get down to the 4 of Swords, all right? Now, what it is after you sort of get rid of being so rigid and taking your blinders off and realizing that, you know, it might be every single thing that I'm demanding, but, you know, it's so close, I'm going to go for it. And there you are, you know, and you relax. And see, we started, I said 3 things, so here we have 4, but there's, right, here we have 4 swords, so it's 4 issues, but one basically is already sort of working its way out, so.
Yeah. Well, and to elaborate a little bit on that, so the 10 of Swords was the second card, right?
Yeah.
And then the third one was
With
the 3 of Swords.
No, 4.
Oh, 4 of Swords. So
3,
it's
4.
less swords. Once you go with the flow a little bit and be okay with the uncertainty that you know there are no mistakes in life, right? It's all lessons. So once you kind of let your hair down a little bit, you have less swords.
And you look how much
And
more
now
relaxed you are.
Because in the second card, the 10 of Swords, that guy is like stabbed to death here with all them swords pointing at his back, but then he's
You get this
resting.
and look at this one. Thank you,
Yes.
Lord. Right.
It's easy transition. So, but good things are coming, honey. Good things. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
You're
I
very,
do not. Thank you.
You're
very
welcome.
welcome. Blessings.
But that's funny. That's how I was just picking up real
Yeah.
rigid. So.
So just so you guys know, and I'm sure we've said this plenty of times on the studio, whenever we do readings, it's amazing to see how the cards we have different reading styles, obviously, and we're using different decks, and they always piggyback on each other.
Always.
I think the last show, the one before the last one, we had similar cards with different decks, almost in the same exact position. So that was pretty amazing.
It's like they're symbiotic to one another.
Yes.
Yep.
Isn't that-
So we sort of lost you. We got the call, but I don't know where you left off.
You were making
Tell
some
me.
I
amazing
could talk
points.
about this stuff all day long.
That's what we love.
Spirituality and current events, like
Yes.
you could never run out of things to say.
Well, I agree. You don't.
No.
I love
And I'm not. It's not going to happen today either.
That's true.
But you're right. It is intertwining with our current. It's almost like the two worlds are blending, right? Because everything's
Right.
related, and it's now really shining upon our current. It's at our door.
So All right, so now that we got that reading, seeing as we just did a reading and you're sort of connected, right? Let me put you on the spot. Let me put you on, because Norm always said, don't read yourself. So I don't, because let's face it, you can get the answers you want.
Yeah,
right?
I never read for myself. It's
Well,
weird.
I do yes or no question, but he said don't even do that. But it's the same.
Wait, I gotta
Anyway, so you said you got those
I
new
know.
tarot cards.
Thank you, whoever called.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Norm's Friends. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. What can we do for you?
Just calling in. Wanted to see, what you guys picked up.
All right. So, do you have anything specific, or it sounds like a general reading? You want a general reading?
Yeah, I love a general reading.
All right.
Do that.
Would you like to do the honors?
All right, I'll go first. I'll do 3 cards.
Okay.
You're lucky now.
I know.
It's coming up, don't worry.
I know.
Okay, I'll look at them
Oh.
after I choose them. Let's see. All right, so first we start off with the 7 of Pentacles. Pentacles is materialistic things, it's work, it's possessions, that type of thing. So I'm going to say that whatever it is you're doing or you're working, it's sort of, you really give it your all, your job, what you put yourself into, anything that doesn't necessarily mean a job that you paid for, what laborious tasks, anything, cooking, laundry, cleaning, you sort of really give it your all. And, you sort of take pride in that. And, obviously, because I'm getting the sense that, you take pride in that because you get to see the results of the work that you've done, all right? And, of course, here we go. And so the next card after that is the Knight of Cups. So Cups is emotional, but it could be any emotional. So we'll go back to the first card, what I said. See, before I looked at it, right? You get pride out of putting your all into your work. So that's I'm going to say, the emotions, your pride is getting fed. You keep feeding your pride. And what better card? You can't get much higher than the King of Cups. So, I mean, believe it or not, maybe you don't even realize it, but this is really a nice, satisfying, warm, smooth journey. It's great nourishment. You probably don't even realize it. So, and then here we are. It even gets even better. Then you get the Hierophant. All right, beautiful. You got all these. All right, so if you can see right here on the robe, you have the ribbon going up and across. You have the staff up here with the tree cards going across. His hand is up. His hand is up like this. You got all these sort of crossroads coming away, but because you got you sort of, your pride is built up with putting everything in you do. It's the crossroads, or making decisions. Do I do this? Do I do that? I'm getting the sense that they're really not difficult for you, and because you're so tuned into yourself by making the big effort for whatever it is that you do. You just,
that's good. I've had a lot of decisions to make this year. So.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, there you are. So
as you were reading,
fear
I kept
not.
getting that same current theme of heart passion.
Yeah.
Like she's leading with her heart. Everything's coming from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a beautiful reading you did for her. I love it. All right, so I've pulled 3 cards, and while I was shuffling, 2 cards jumped out. So we have the same, right? What falls to the floor comes through the door. So we're going to flip those at the end.
Spike? I can hear Spike over there.
He wants it on the end. He's reading the situation, of course. All right, so okay. Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right, so I pulled 3 cards for you. The first card is emotional loss. All right, and this is you. I don't know if they're zooming in. This is you having a broken heart right now.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
Yeah. The second card is Discontent and Boredom. All right, so this has to do with not so much the physical, like literally discontent and boredom. It's that routine in your life of you're done with this chapter of feeling in that kind of like sitting in that warm water of sadness and grief and pain. It's become monotonous, and now it's time for something different to come in, right? And the third card, believe it or not, is Love Begins. Because you're walking into a whole, you're done. Not that you are done feeling that emotional loss. It's that you have sat with that feeling for enough time to be able to move forward to the next chapter, because you've healed enough of that pain and that grief that you can step into allowing your heart to feel again. And that's where love begins. And it doesn't necessarily mean a relationship. It just means your heart is coming back to life, where you are allowing it to feel again. You are putting yourself out there vulnerable and giving of your heart and being able to receive, being open to receiving. Do you want to add something?
No.
Okay.
I'll wait till you're done.
Okay. Then, so those are the 3 cards that I pulled. Now let's look at the ones that jumped out while I was shuffling. Oh, beautiful. And it's foundation and achievements. All right. So this goes hand in hand with David's cards about the foundations and achievements, and that love begins, right? This is that igniting your passion. That is your heart coming back to life and pouring your heart all into your work and what you're doing, your current endeavors right now. And this is building that future for you. And I see a child. So I don't know if you have children, but I see this is you setting the groundwork for your family, for your future. It's setting like your nest egg, if you will, right? The other card.
Yeah, I have a son, yep.
Okay, well, you know what? These go together.
They do go together.
So the other card that jumped out while I was shuffling is partnerships and alliances. All right, so I feel like this card can go in one of 2 ways, and I feel it's actually going in 2 directions. So partnerships and alliances, I feel like this is about the current project that you're working on right now, with your hard work, as David had pulled in the cards, what you're investing in, whether it's a side business, whether it's what your current project is right now, where your heart is, where your focus is. That is that partnerships and alliances. That is you networking. That is you making those right connections to move forward and have that foundations and achievements, right? But when we look at it with the love begins, it also means, and I strongly feel, this is that new relationship coming in for you as well. That foundations feels to me like this is a solid partnership. Partnerships and alliances. This is somebody that helps you grow. I'm not doing a love it sounds like a love reading, but it's not. This is just
personal.
This is for you specifically, it's like both ends of the candle are burning. Your work, career, hobby, and your personal life, your heart matters, your relationships. So they're merging into one. This is where your heart is igniting once again. That love begins. Let's look at the overall energy of the situation and see what the bottom of the deck has to say. Oh my goodness. Memories of love. All right. So this is all about your heart. Like as David was doing your reading, all I kept seeing was your heart surrounded by green. As I'm pulling these cards, they're all about love. They're all green. Look at that. They're all green. And this is about your heart. Your heart plays a huge factor right now. That is the compass. That is the compass that's going to steer you in the right path. And you know it because you feel it and it's right. It feels right. It makes sense. You can't explain it, but it just does. You go with that. That's it.
Again, the cards, how they relate, but I just wanted what I said in my reading about, the pride and getting all the pride out of all the chores and work and everything that you do.
Yeah.
And I mentioned to you that it's therapy. You might not, when you're really nourishing yourself.
Yeah.
And it's so beneficial because that's what helps you overcome the emotional loss and the discontent and boredom.
You're putting your heart in there, your pride, your everything.
So
it's your core.
You're reaching in. So keep up the good work.
Yes.
Thank you. That's amazing. Yeah, very, very accurate too. I just I lost a loved one last year, and had to kind of rebuild my life with my son. So
there's the
very, very
foundations.
accurate. Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
You're on the right track. You a lot of beautiful things. Can you see her aura? I see white and gold trim all around.
I only
and her
see aura
energy.
if the person is here.
Oh. You're a being of light. I just see beautiful, beautiful things coming in for you. Her energy feels amazing, like a feather. This is.
Thank you so much.
This is it, girl.
You're very welcome. Thanks for letting us help you.
All right.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so get rid of those cards.
Here
You're
we
not getting out
go.
of it.
Okay,
You're
this
not
is like
getting
math
out of it.
class.
It's
fascinating to watch that, by the way.
Is it?
Oh, is it?
It is.
It's
I mean, I've
fascinating.
never seen. I've had personal readings done before, but I've never seen this type of environment where they're, you have somebody call in.
There's
Look
somebody-
at
not
you.
there.
I'm lucky. Good afternoon, Norm's friends.
Well, I have an anonymous reading.
Yeah, let's
You
do
can-
it.
You can have a reading.
Anonymous.
Well, we'll let Liz start because I started the last one. So
All right, so do you have a specific question or do you want a general reading? What would you like?
Just a general reading.
General reading. I will pull 3 cards and let's see what the cards have to say, what lies in your immediate future. And remember, the future is not set in stone. You are always in control of the outcome. So what I am picking up is your energy and what lies ahead based on your choices and your thoughts. All right. All right, so I pulled 3 cards for you. The first one is patience and planning. So this has to do with what you have been kind of toying with, an idea that you haven't shared with anybody yet. This is something that is not, it's kind of like out of the norm for you. This is something that you're kind of toying with. Should I venture out into this? Almost feels like a business deal, like a side job or something similar along those lines where you're like, do I have what it takes to pull this off, right? The second card is light. This is you, because these thoughts that are coming in for you are divinely inspired. They're coming from a place of love. They are coming from your heart. Your intuition is telling you, you know what, you're ready. Let's follow this. And part of you, of course, naturally is going to say, but what if I fail, right? But it's destined to happen. This is your light shining through, and it's going to continue to seep through until you answer that call. The obstacles and challenges is the third card. That card comes up because the more we resist what is in our path and not listen to our hearts and those little drops of information that our intuition gives us, the whispers that the universe whispers in our ear, the more challenges and obstacles we have in our lives, right? But you have your light shining, and it's shining really bright, and it's telling you move forward and plan for that, because you know what is the worst that could happen? Absolutely nothing. So keep moving forward with it. Now let's look at the bottom of the deck and give us the overall energy of the situation. It's the waiting game. You have waited long enough. It is time. Just jump right in, both feet first, right? Just go for it. There is nothing you can do to mess this up. What's the worst that could happen? Any questions?
No.
all right, I'll
All
give
right.
mine. But I'm getting the sense that before I even look at my cards, that you have a heart's desire that you're trying to hurry. You can't hurry. You have to, it goes on its course, not your course. So just so, and here we are, the very first card. The 4 of Cups, emotional. So what are you doing? As you can see, the person in the card. Here they are. They're sitting up against the tree, obviously very bored. All right, not really emotional at all. Here's the 3 cups in front of them. They're not really paying any attention to it. They're bored. It goes in here with the patience and planning and the obstacles
waiting.
and challenges and the waiting. But in the meantime, what you have to do, dear, is right here, if you look around, look at how bored they are. There's somebody offering them something, and they're not even paying any attention. That's how sort of withdrawn and inside they're looking, as opposed to trying to, look outside a little bit. So, but there is. And if we go again, once you do that, start opening your eyes. Stop, woe is me, poor me. That's my favorite saying, by the way,
Yes.
for me. All right.
So
then we come to the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords, all right? This is somebody young, or somebody young at heart, or somebody with a nice burst of wonderful energy. All right. So, and whatever it is that you're working on, or that you're bored with, that you're discontent with, all right, what's going to happen is again, look, there's things you can reach at that you want to attain, and people to help you attain them. And what's going to happen is if you focus just a little bit and realize that that's out there, again, listen to your gut. I can tell you're getting messages, and it's going to be, you'll be going to be surprised, because if you do and not resist,
Yes.
wanting it to go on your timeline, but go on spiritual timeline,
Spiritual.
you'll all of a sudden, this is like they say, from one second to the next, it's all going to come together for you. And it'll all make sense for you. And again, how do we end? Of course, we see the hanged man. He's hanging upside down. It's nothing really bad, but what is it telling you, right? Your hangman, as you can see him. So you might be in a place now that might be a little bit uncomfortable. But again, if you go back to the cards that she pulled, the 2 cards about patience and waiting and that type of thing, it'll all work out for you. But you got to have the patience and listen to your gut. It's, I'm getting the sense, again, you're trying to, I want this, or you got a certain direction in mind, but, that's not always the sort of direction that's meant for us. And that's where we run into trouble, when we resist. So just slow down a little and you'll see things work out much, much better for you.
Yeah. And remember that, the light, it's right there. It's an easy fix, really. I know it sounds easier said than done, but it really is easy.
It is easy. It's simple.
It's just let go a little bit, and everything's going to start flowing in beautifully because it's meant to be.
Any other questions?
How is the health going to be?
How is your health going to be?
Mm-hmm.
I'll pull 1 card for your health. I'm getting the sense that for your health, we have the Queen of Swords here. You have some health decisions to make, and perhaps maybe that's what all this other reading is going to, with the patience. And instead of trying to hurry things through with what's going on with your health, you sit down, take a really good look at the pros and cons, look at what's available, and what is the best choice for you. Again, open yourself up, listen to your heart, listen to your soul, your spirit, and it will all work out. You're going to see. I know I'm getting the sense that you're sort of feeling really restricted now, but that sort of restriction will soon be lifted. So.
Yeah. So I pulled a card as well for your health, and I got memories of love. So this is, I always get that card for medical. It's so weird. So this is about you wanting to go back to that healthy version of yourself. So what I'm seeing for you, here's your task, is remember that feeling of when you were healthy, all right? And instead of claiming the illness or the dis-ease, let's change the wording on it. And instead of saying, for example, I have a headache. Let's keep it simple, right? Instead of saying I have a headache, let's rephrase that to I am recovering from a headache, right? And then the energy shifts when we state words like that, because the power of our words dictates everything else. It gives a signal to the brain, which then sends a signal to every part of our cells in our bodies, and then everything just follows suit. So the longer that we proclaim, I have this issue, or I could have this issue, then that is what we're calling more of. So if you already have a diagnosis, then change the wording and say, I am getting better from X, Y, and Z. I am recovering from X, Y, and Z. Or you say, my body, if you don't have any diagnosis, you say, my body is regenerating. It is strengthening each day. So it's a matter of what direction you want your body to follow. And it's all with the choices of our words.
It is. You could just be as simple as when you wake up every morning, all you have to do is say, every day, in every way, I am better and better.
That's right. And the mind
just
has
simple
no choice
affirmations.
To
follow. It does make a difference, but.
Yeah. Do you have any questions? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you. Do you have any other questions, or?
That's it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay,
Leave with the blessings of spirit. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right. I will do it.
Back to me
I will do what I know. All right. So for you guys, he wants me to read with tarot, which I am
Because she
always
said
a
she's
little
new,
bit.
so it means she should be more relaxed.
Yes. Yeah. This is a first. I don't normally use tarot cards.
Right.
There's a difference. So, see, my cards have pictures on them and a little bit of words, and I read them intuitively, which I'm going to do this intuitively.
Well, there is. I mean, look at the bottom card.
Yeah.
It's the ten. There's so much
Let's jump right
intuitive,
in.
so much
Let's do it.
that you can get out of that.
What's the worst that can happen, right?
Right.
We can't fail. No, there is no mistakes in life, so let's
That's
just
right.
do it
And
intuitively.
you know,
That.
people have to realize
practice what I
too,
preach.
You know, when you get a reading, we're never 100% spot on or correct, but you know, when we give you a reading, listen to what we say, because what we say are tools for you to use to,
right.
you know, get a nice positive outcome. It's tools for you to use, and it's the way the energies are lining up as we say it.
Exactly. And it's not set in stone. We leave them empowered. So this is a general reading for you.
Okay. I can hardly wait.
I know. I'm not doing reversals, okay? Shh. All right, so this is what I see. I have here the 10 of Pentacles, all right? 10. Number 10 is always a number about completion of cycles. That is like the finish line, right? And Pentacles, to me, is always something material, and it's flourishing with all these beautiful little pentacles, these beautiful stars. So that, to me, feels like abundance and money coming in for you. The second card is the 2 of Pentacles. So that is about balance. That is about not having discretion on spending. Like having that balance with the money that's coming in, assigning every dollar a job, a task, right? And saving, because it's going to be coming in quickly. But you also don't want to be a fool like that ship back there that is floating up and down, up and down. You want to have that stability. King of Wands. That is you. That is, to me, wands has to do with our wants, right? With the things that we want. So you getting all this abundance, this financial abundance coming in, and here is the meat and potatoes. Is the key is you got to find that balance, because then you're going to be sitting on your throne having what you want.
They are right.
Bingo, we did it. See how much easier that was? I wish I had an earpiece.
It is. But
His energy, I wish I could just bottle it up and...
thank you.
was
That was
super
good. I loved
easy.
it. But I just want to point some things out to you. Just
Yeah.
because you talk about reading the cards, the 10 of Pentacles, right? But
Yeah.
also, if you look at it, there's people, there's celebration.
Yes.
Dogs. This is the way I look at it.
And
Good
the
friends
children,
around. Good
innocence,
friends around
purity.
you. Family. And what it, see the archway?
Celebrate going through that arch,
Right.
the
See
threshold.
the 10. Right.
10 is completion. I love
There you
that.
go. But
Look
you
at
know,
that.
there's just so much stuff.
Look at the
That's what.
2 of Pentacles shows in the very back 2 ships, and they're up and down. So if we don't find that balance, they're going to continue to go up and down,
the roller
right? Just the
coaster
good
ride.
and the bad, the roadblocks and the blessings coming in. And that little lizard there and the King of Wands, that is just like, that's it. You've reached that ultimate finish line where you get what you want by doing this.
There you go. See that? All right, Liz.
All right, we're good
thank
to
you.
go. Crash course.
Look at that.
So David and I blend. So yeah, you were saying before we get another call.
I know.
What was I saying? Was I saying how great this was to watch in person?
Oh, yeah, actually,
kinda
that's where you
were.
were spotted on. Mike is quiet. But what were you saying? You said it was fascinating.
To see
since
and
the
to-
It is fascinating because, you know, I every time I've had a reading done, it's by, you know, a friend, somebody that I've known for a long time that's kind of always been,
Close.
they do this regularly, okay?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's always been one-on-one.
Yeah.
To see somebody be able to call in that you've never talked to before, you've never heard from them before,
Nobody
And to
said
be
their
able to-
names at
to be
all.
able to pull
That's right.
information from the ethereal, right?
Yeah.
And articulate it in such a way that people identify with it. It's fascinating. It really is fascinating. It's like going to a chiropractor and having that. Every time I go to the chiropractor, I lay down on the table, and he knows right where I'm sore just by touching my back a little bit. And it's like, how do you know that? This is
Yeah.
my body.
Yeah.
I'm living in my body. How can you be so good with what you do to identify where I hurt and be able to apply the right pressure? And it's kind of like you're doing a similar thing, but
Yeah.
through the networks and the internets and stuff like that. It's amazing. It blows my mind. I appreciate y'all having me here to watch this.
Yes.
See? Like, you know, if people keep watching, the more they watch, the higher to heaven we bring them.
Yes, it's
We'll have you
are
soaring in
here
no time.
to be of service, and there is no greater feeling in the world than feeling your client exhale.
Mm-hmm.
That is it. That's worth $1 million, because it's like it is etheric energy. We don't, and that's something that I try to stress, especially now in the COVID, restrictions, that we can't do the face-to-face as freely as we once did. And a lot of people are a little leery about doing a phone reading because they feel that they need to be in front of us in order to get an accurate reading. And that's not the case, because, in my opinion, space and time is man-made construct, so energy transcends space and time. And since we're coming from a very different realm, very different vibration, we kind of like, I don't know how to say it, like we can reach. Energy transcends everything, time and space.
It's like infinity
connect.
in a way.
Right.
But here's something a little that relates to the connection, because I meditate every morning. I've been meditating for years.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is. It's incredible. And I also I do online readings for this psychic place out of the UK.
So like the hotline that I did.
Right. Anyway, so when I meditate, I've done this 6 times now. It's just amazing. So when I meditate, I always. Good afternoon, Norm's friends. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Very good. What can we help you with?
My sister told me that I should call in and have a reading done.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you for calling.
Hold on. I'll start.
Do you have
And we'll see what the cards
Does she
are.
have a question, or are you going to do
Oh,
that
yeah.
here?
Do you have a question or a general reading?
Let's do a general reading.
All right. I like general readings because you
Let's
never
just do
know.
general moving forward
where
for the
you-
last 10 minutes of our...
Well, you never know where you're going to land. That's why
That's
I like
true.
them.
That's true, that's true.
All right. So I'm going to do 3 cards, actually, and I've never done this before. I'm going to pick out 3 in a row.
Nice. Switching it up.
Right. All right. So, all right. First, we get the devil, but you might get scared of it. Some people think it's really, really negative. But if you see the 2 people in the card here, this is what I said about the tarot card. You can read so much in it.
Of course, it's much
All right. So I'm getting a sense with this card, because I always read them psychically, all right? For some reason, at this very moment, at this time in your life, you're feeling vulnerable. And from the vulnerability, you're also feeling trapped. You're not really seeing a clear picture of perhaps what it is you want to attain, or the direction that you want to go in, or perhaps I'm getting even the sense that you basically sort of don't even really know what you want, because you're just such in this sort of slump of feeling down and stuck that you're sort of all fogged up. But until you sort of break that, you're gonna feel trapped. All right. So.
Okay.
All right, and we go as we keep going along. So the next card, it's the Emperor. All right, so it's a lot brighter than this card. And as you can see also, by the way, the devil, there's wings. So see, there's a way out. We get to the next card, it's the Emperor. All right, so we get to the Emperor. There's a lot of red there to me. I'm getting strength. You're a strong individual. You get to sort of, once you start seeing a little bit of the light, sit down, really think things out. Don't make any rash decisions, because you'll just end up even in a darker place, or a more sort of feeling trapped than you are right now. And at the same time, as you can see it, by doing that, taking your time, grounding yourself, weighing out the pros and cons, you're also protecting yourself at the same time. So you're not, again, feeling as vulnerable as you were with that card. And once you, all right? And again, this goes back to the first card. You have the 8 of Swords here. As you can see, the lady in the card here. This is you again. what's holding you back, I don't have a clue, but you got all these things going on, or it could be just one or two thoughts, or sort of, we'll say, issues going on with you that aren't letting you feel nice about yourself. Why? I don't know. And what you have, as in this card, you have to take the blindfold off. I don't know why you're holding yourself back the way you are. And if you look at the card, it's easier than you think. As you could see, the blindfold, if she shakes her head hard enough, the blindfold goes flying off. Her vision is reawakened. And even the restraints, all she has to do is wiggle and she's out of them. So, you know what, you have to give yourself some credit, slow down a little, think things out, get a little clearer vision, and stop thinking that you're stuck where you are, because you're not. You're only stuck if you want to be. So
That's beautiful.
Okay,
Do you have any questions?
that is helpful for other reasons than why my sister told me to call. So,
All right.
well, you have to call for your reasons, though, not for her reasons. That's the difference.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Because it's about what your heart needs to know right now. That's basically what I tell callers.
Yeah.
You're calling for a reason. Nothing in life is a coincidence, right? So there's a reason why your sister mentioned us to you. So
Right.
there's something there in your heart that maybe you haven't been able to put into words what the question is. You know that something feels a little bit like kind of in the foggy state that you could use a little clarity on, and that's where we come in. So I just pulled 3 cards for you. Let's see what they say. Material harvest, the universe, and emotional loss. All right, so they go hand in hand with what David was just talking about. So there's this material harvest coming in for you. This is you. This is like you bringing in that abundance. It's waiting for you. It's right there, but it's waiting for you. It's like there's a glass door and you see it. It's right there. It's within reach, but you can't get to it. The universe has sent those
Okay.
to you, all right? This is yours. It has your name on it. That package is yours and yours alone. Now, you can't access it because you are still stuck in the past. You keep looking back. This is that emotional loss card. And that is
This-
you're keeping yourself in, and this is an easy fix, okay? This is not like anything bad. This is just that it's comfortable to feel to stay in that comfortable place of, this is what I know. I don't deserve anything better than this. This is where it's been for so long. Like it's that weird, comfortable state that we keep ourselves in because it's what we know. And the unknown can be very scary, of course. But what's the worst that could happen? That's going to be my catchphrase. What is the worst that could happen, right? Because this is meant to be. This is the universe has handed you this package. It has your name on it. You just got to go get it, but you have to stop looking backwards. You're not going there, right? You're going forward. We leave everything that's in the past, we leave that behind. But we don't want to negate it either, because we wouldn't be where we are right now if it wasn't for the good and the bad things that have happened to us in our past, right? So we take that. They were teachers. They taught us things, and now we are ready. We are at that vibrational match where we can receive that abundance that the universe was waiting for you to get to. So easy fix, look forward. That's it. It's right there for you. Let's look at the bottom of the deck and see what the overall energy is. Oh, look at that. Authority. So that's you standing your ground and saying, you know what? All right, this is what my life was. This is what could go wrong. All right, I hear it. Dismiss it. Gently dismiss that. And now flip the coin and say, but what can go right? And it's right there waiting for you.
That's funny. That goes
That material harvest.
to the devil card, right?
Goes right to the
break
devil
the
card,
pattern.
got it.
You got to
Right,
break
you gotta-
that
that's
pattern.
it.
I'm getting the sense that
So it's an easy fix. It's
You-
right there. That prize is right there. You just have to say, you know what? I'm ready. That's it. I'm going to get it.
when you say you've had enough
Okay.
and you want to stop spinning your wheels.
That's it. Forget about what
All right.
everybody else is saying and just move forward. Your heart's going to lead you. It will never steer you in the wrong direction.
It doesn't. All right. Any
Okay.
other questions?
No?
All righty. Thanks for calling. Thanks for calling. Thanks for letting us help you.
Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah,
blessings.
thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
And
Oh, no, go.
Have a great night.
all I just want to say is, like that last caller, she says, my sister told me to call for a reason. But, it's when they call, you know, like she didn't have a question. So like
Yeah.
you when you get a general reading, you get the energy. And it's her sister saying call for this, but her energy is saying, well, I'm calling for that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
what people,
and that's not the correct
right?
question.
And also, what people need to realize is when you get a reading, I know some people do because I know that they are, but really, go ahead.
1 minute.
Good afternoon, Norm's friends. How can
Good
we help?
afternoon, everybody.
Mary, how's Mary? We only got a couple of minutes left.
Hi.
Yeah, doing pretty good.
Yeah.
That's good.
How's your eye?
It's doing good. Thank God for that.
All right, excellent. And how was your New Year's, Mary?
Stayed home with my cats.
All right, I did the same thing.
I did too.
Yep.
Actually, I did
Stayed
that.
home, and then,
Yeah.
of course, Christmas this year, thank God that I had a chance to go to New Bedford.
Did
I
you?
went to New Bedford for Christmas.
Wow.
Beautiful.
And I stayed in my pajamas all day, Mary, because I heard nothing but
Yeah.
accidents and spin-outs and road closures. So,
Yeah, I know. Even over by my way, they had the road over here shut off.
yep,
I
so,
said, nope, my car's staying home. I ain't budging anywhere today.
yeah.
Good choice.
And my four-legged buddy Fred, he loved it because I was home with him all day, so. There you
They
are.
love that, don't they?
Yeah. Mary, who's on your show tomorrow?
I'm not sure if they're going to make it or not. And if they do, they do. You know, like I say, with everything happening,
And
who
how?
knows who's going to show up, you know?
That's true, Mary. You're sounding good.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
That's good. Glad to hear it, Mary.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it. Tomorrow, what time you on? 5? Also, I forget. 5?
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
All right.
Channel, you guys. Sing that channel.
There you go.
Cruising with Mary.
Mary. Check her out. And you will go cruising, no question.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
3 minutes.
Yeah, just look for the Golden Girls on here. And oh, my goodness, my condolences. Oh, my God.
Oh,
It
I
hurt
know.
my heart when I heard the last Golden Girl was gone.
Yeah.
I know, but
Another angel.
that's right.
Yeah.
And how?
Yes, yeah, we do. We have a lot of angels for sure.
Yeah, and how? I mean, you know, like I always look at it, you know, before you're born, when you're going down the assembly line for that 9 months, Mary, right? You pick your
Yeah.
eyes and what color hair you want and all this other stuff, right? But what people
That's
don't
right.
realize is, you know, right before you're born, you pick up all these tickets, and what happens is once you're born, every breath you take, you have to give a ticket back, and some people get more tickets than others. That's all
I
it is.
love that analogy. I absolutely love that. That's
So there you are.
awesome. The assembly line, too. I can totally picture that. Oh, my God.
I chose all this?
You did, believe it or not. Yeah, you did. You did. I always believed that since I was a little kid. I always did.
I do believe. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we did choose
Yeah.
all these things.
All right, Mary, we're almost out of time, so
Thank you for calling,
Thanks for
Mary.
calling
See you
in.
guys next week.
Okay, thanks. We'll see you, Mary.
Bye.
So, but I just wanted to finish what I was saying before. Like people like that, they call, and
Yeah.
like I was going to say, I know some people that will do it when they want a reading from me. They don't necessarily hear what they want to hear. They
Yeah.
hear what they need to hear.
Yes,
which is that
absolutely.
last.
Yeah.
Not Mary, the caller before her. When she,
Yeah.
well, I wasn't calling for this, but
Yeah, yeah.
she really was.
Of
She
course.
just didn't
and
realize
see, and
it.
I find that happens a lot in the very initial conversation is that a client will come with a question in mind, but then they walk away with the answer of what they actually needed to hear. They didn't
Exactly, that's right.
hear, right?
Mhm.
So, you want to announce who the next? What is
Well,
next?
we have no guests next week, so again, call in next week. It's going to be fun-filled, lots of excitement, lots of thrills, because we're going to be doing readings. I'm going to bring a couple of other decks. I'm going to bring my crystal ball, so make sure you
Do
tune
fun
in then.
things.
It is, so make sure you tune in then. We're going to be going over the moon next week. And then, oh wait, we might have Victoria Sullivan on, because she was scheduled with Norm, but she may not want to come on now without Norm, so.
Well,
don't know.
We'll double check.
But at least we have one for sure, February 2nd, Wednesday, Anthony Williams, the fantastic artist. So,
Stay tuned.
all right. So, and we're just
Thank you to
about
our
out of
guests
time.
for
so-
showing up and
Thank you,
sharing
Mike.
space
Thank
with
you.
us.
And Sam, Samson, who we can call Sam. Thanks for coming in. Was great. And until next week, remember, you are
a winner.